everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is my first DIY, I believe. I don't think I've posted one before. Not really sure where to look at the camera for some reason in this position, so it's throwing me off a little bit. So hopefully I'm looking in the right direction. So today I thought I would do a DIY. It's been requested. This one is going to be super simple. You might not even need a hot glue gun, but just in case. So what we're going to make is a swag, which can also be used as over the door swag, or you can use it as a centerpiece on your table from now through Thanksgiving. So let's go over the materials that you would need. I try to keep this really simple, and I'm not positive that I'm going to use hot glue. It depends on how well my materials attach themselves to my swag. So I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's a little swag. You would find it where the grapevine wreaths are. Now you could probably make something like this if you wanted to. This one has a ring on the back, so you can hang it different ways. I think I used this as a base before for a door swag, and I think I even cut this part off, the little circle on the back, because I didn't need it for that particular one. But for today, this one's pretty level. If they're not level when you're trying to lay it on your table, you can take your wire cutters, which you're also going to need, and you could cut off anything that's not helping keep it nice and flush with your table. So these are what I used, and you can change this and adjust this to whatever your color or style is for fall. So I'm taking 2 leaf stems. So these particular leaves I like. They're the beautiful color. Really into this color, which is very unusual for me because my favorite color is red. Typically I avoid orange at all costs. If you're from Alabama, you understand why I said that. So, we have to pick a side. And I was born into the red side, and my husband he wasn't actually born into the orange side. He converted at some point. But anyway, these are beautiful. These are Hobby Lobby, but you could use any color stems that you like. But these drapey ones were just really pretty, and you'll see how they lay. They lay really well. But you could use different colors. And my stems, I have already cut off some of the wire, so you might notice that. So 2 of those. Then these 2 picks, they're identical. These seem to be popular. I've seen them on YouTube and different places. It's the colors and the texture and the white berries. I mean, they're just everything. So they had these in a soft orange that were speckled like this. I love those too. Then they had your traditional picks. So any picks that you like. But these are pretty good size. Hold up in front of me so you can kind of see. These are pretty good size. I have not cut these or anything yet. You can see I even still have my Hobby Lobby tags on them. Had 2 of those. I'm into pairs today. So it's very symmetrical. It's strange to me that I'm picking this as my first DIY. And I typically don't do things symmetrically. Not even, my house is not, on the outside of my house is not symmetrical. Most of my arrangements and things are not usually symmetrical, but this one kind of lends itself to being symmetrical, and I also thought it would just make it simple. So these are beautiful. I'm not sure what color you call this. Maybe it's blush. I don't know. It's not pink enough, I think, to be blush, but it's got a little bit of that warm tone in there. It's very taupey color. I love them. They're gorgeous. They go with a lot of different styles. And this to me, this arrangement works with, the swag works with, whether you're a farmhouse or traditional or whimsical. I think this particular color scheme would work with a lot of different ones. So, and I'm kind of a mixture of all sorts of things. So 2 of these, the color does not matter. That's up to you. But this is what I had on hand. I didn't have 2 orange ones. I did look for those. All right, so the swag I've shown you, and then basically 6 picks. I'm not using ribbon, but ribbon is an option. I don't have it sitting on my table, so if I were to leave the screen, you know why. Now, I do have this sunflower as an option. It was on a pick, on a stem. It had 3 leaves. It has a dried look. It's really big and oversized, and I love it. I love this texture. I love this color, and I even love the color of the leaves because they're muted green, and then they have a little bit of brown too, and it kind of ties in with all of these muted colors that I'm pointing to, but that you can actually see slightly so. So my hot glue gun is warming up. I have mine just sitting on the table. Make sure you have something to protect this. Mine is a true hot glue gun, so it's super hot. So always be careful using that. These are my pliers that I have, my wire cutters I have at the moment. These are not necessarily my favorite, but these seem to be pretty strong. They say vice grip. Bill got these somewhere because he was trying to find some like I already had, and we couldn't find them. They're not quite this large. It's just sometimes it's hard for me to grip something and cut some of these stems. So we were trying to find something really powerful. I've seen some other ones that people have said they like even better. There's the typical one that's about a size smaller that a lot of people like because it's just easy to grip it. And I've had my pair for many years, which is why I'm looking for a new pair. They're just dull, not because of any other reason. But then I've got this, but there's another set. I'm sure there's lots of them, but some that I've kind of researched that's about $50 or so. And they work really well, you know, to break those stems and snap them off without having to have quite as much force in your hand. So this is one pair that you might want, and none of this is sponsored. These are just things that I have at my home. So we're going to get started because I wanted this to be super simple for you. Now you would need to cut your stem off. I'm going to cut about this much more so that I've got this much of a length on here. Sometimes the tags come right off and sometimes they do not. And instead of using hot glue, I'm going to jab mine into the band right here and see if I can just make it work this way. And I'm pushing it down until this leaf is almost there. And then I'm letting this hang off. And I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm going to clip a little bit of this off. I usually keep a trash can right beside me so that as I go, I just pop it all in there because that's a lot of mess to clean up if you save it for the end. Or sometimes if I'm in too big of a hurry, I've done that before too. So I've done the same thing with my other one. And I'm going to jam it in from this side until it touches that leaf. And now I've done it. Now I flipped. On this one, I have the short leaf stem, the one that's in the middle, and then your tall one. I flipped it when I did this side so that it was now the opposite, but it still has this draping effect, but we're going to leave it the way it is for now because I can adjust that once we know where we want to put it. All right, so you've got those two. Like I said, so far I haven't used glue. This might be the tricky part because it depends on how tightly woven your grapevine is as to how well you could jab it into the centerpiece. But I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work, then I'll have to cut it. And sometimes it's like really, really forceful to get it in there. So you have to be a little bit careful because it is rough on my hands at this time of the year. So I got that side in there. Not sure about the other ones. You fluff it a little bit if you need to. Adjust your leaves if you need to. Pull up some of the white berries because those are gorgeous. You want those to show. So I'm just kind of fluffing a tiny bit. And that leaf actually kind of worked itself in there with that. I think that's pretty. All right, so let's try the other side and see if it fits in there without me having to cut. May or may not. I got these, of course, at 40% off. They haven't gone 50%. If they have, let me know in the comments because I check pretty regularly. All right, so that one got pretty close too. And this one, this little pick is slightly different than the other one in that the raffia is going a different direction. So if you're not okay with that, you can always spritz it very carefully with a little bit of water and kind of shape it or sit something on it while it's damp to kind of adjust it. But it doesn't really bother me too much. All right, so now, so far, I haven't had to do any. Almost looks like something's looking at you. There you go. All right, so take your two sunflowers. These are the ones that's tough to get off. It likes to stick. The sticky part of the sticker likes to stick to the brown because it's more of a, I guess it's a paper material instead of plastic, so it sticks. All right, so I've got to get these two in the center. I'm not sure if I've got enough room left for just poking it in here. That one went in pretty easy. So I took this one and I went this way. And then I'm going to take this one and try to go in this direction. Oh, that was almost too easy, y'all. Okay, so here's where I might need glue. If I'm going to put this outside or if I'm going to be moving it around a lot. At my house, it would not. I'd put it on my table or somewhere and it would be okay. But if you needed some hot glue gun, to use your hot glue gun, you could put some at your base of your stem to hold it in place. So, ta-da! There's our swag. Now, if I keep it this direction, I can hang it over a door and I could very gently bend this piece. You really don't have to be that gentle, just don't knock your leaves off. So bend it and now it's going to kind of cascade going downward and that would go over a door. Or you leave it down the center. I'm not in the center of my table, so it's kind of hard for me to show you. But if it's your centerpiece, I would simply kind of adjust everything coming down towards my table. If you want your orange to show more, put it on top of the beige leaf. If not, I'll leave it below. Adjust your pumpkins the way, you might want one pumpkin towards the front and one little bit towards the back if it's in the middle of your table. And y'all, that's it. You've already made your centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Which way does it need to go? This way. You made your centerpiece. This one is probably, wow, this table in here is about 6 feet. Not a huge table. It's not a huge room, so it can't have a huge table. So this right here is at least a foot. This is about a foot. This one, so this is probably about 3 feet in length. So it's really pretty to me. Super simple. Anybody can do this. I didn't even touch my hot glue gun, but sometimes you still need that. This is in here really securely for me. If your pieces or if your grapevine's a little bit loose and your pieces feel like they're going to fall out, then as you start to poke that in, you need to put a little bit of glue on your ends as it's going in. Just be really careful. Another thing is once it's done like this, I can go in and hot glue certain areas. And then if the glue is here, you need to press it down far away because if you put your finger there, you're very likely to touch the hot glue. So try not to do that. So I would hold it down over here to let that dry. And then like I said, basically, I'm just going to fluff it. I'm going to turn it around so you can see how this is pretty from either side. Simple and beautiful. I love it. Love these colors for this year. This burnt orange has been one of my favorites. But this is super simple. It goes with a lot of different environments, a lot of different things that you might have in your house. One thing that you can do if your table is round and you don't have this much room, like if it's a 48-inch table, which a lot of people have that in their kitchen, when you went to put this piece in on your stems, you would cut them a little bit shorter so that you didn't have as much length going this way. So my arrangement can be pulled apart pretty easily. I say that, it may be, never mind. If you pull this piece out and cut, 6 inches off on each side, then you're bringing that in another foot. And then that's going to make it fit much easier on a round table that's not as big as this. Another place that this would be really pretty, my buffet is pretty much so covered right now. But this could very easily go someplace like this, a hall table, your sofa table. If you wanted to hang it on the wall, can you see that? Ah, you can't see it. So, what can you see? All right, let's pretend, ladies and gentlemen. Don't know how I got hot glue string on there, but I think that's super pretty. And it could go over your front door or inside your house over a window. That would be really pretty too. All right, thanks for stopping by. Y'all, please subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss a single video. I have lots of things coming out in the next few weeks. It's that most wonderful time of the year coming soon. And I'm excited, and I hope you are too. And see you next time, everybody. Bye, guys.